What is happening, Trips? Welcome back to Scottish Football Weekly.
Yes!
How was everyone's weekend? How was everyone's weekend?
Good. Calm.
He's been missing for 1 week and he's just got to come back with the energy.
That's
Mate.
it.
You've got to love it, but you've got to love it.
It was a calm weekend. It was a calm weekend for me.
The Cam weekend.
Calm.
Getting all out your system tonight. Yourselves?
Good, mate. Just chilling. Played football. Scored a wee goal. Not too bad.
We came and saw you. You scored a good free kick. Are you alright?
I did. I just think he's disappointed with his performance at the weekend. An assist.
Aye, well, I got an assist. First game for team. Back playing football.
Are you happy that you're back then?
Aye, it was a good. You know what, I'm like with Lawson, I hate Lawson, but it was good to get back on a park. Yeah.
Especially with everything you're up that, you're up your workaholic, so it'll be good to get back in the pitch with the boys.
It's just training, I know it's hard and all that, I mean, coming home for long, yeah, but I'll get there. Get there slowly but surely. Back on the racing salmon diet.
Aye.
So.
Not fun, a fish.
Yourself?
Aye, cheers, mate. Aye, quiet, mate. Just watch the football. That was so really.
These are chaotic, innit?
Oh,
dear.
Absolutely chaotic.
We know what's coming, so hit us with it.
Before we get into the recap, let me kick us off the wee segment of the show we like to call the Big 3 Points. The Big 3 Points is brought to you by Football Guess Who app. Who's That Player? Who's That Player is an interactive football knowledge app that throws up players from either SPFL or leagues from around the world. Basically, how it works every week, you have played it yourself. You jump on the app, you get yourself the 5 clues. However many clues you guess the player in, obviously amounts to the amount of players that you get. I can see you laughing at me.
My high score's 8.
I've got it in your high score's 8?
I can't. Me and me saw played it the other day, Saturday night, and I'm not even joking. The high score was 8.
Really, aye?
I think I got one right.
Who won last week?
Me.
You? Was it you last week?
Scotty McDonald.
Scott McDonald.
Was it?
So each episode I'm going to pick out my 3 favourite clues from the app. Head over to iOS App Store and download Who's That Player now.
Get it done.
So who's top of the leaderboard then?
I think it'll be John.
You're joint with Craig.
No,
Me Dicko?
Oh, did you get it the first week? Cool.
I got
Moy.
I don't. It's been 2 Australian Celtic players the first 2 weeks in.
Pure crazy, man.
Interesting, very interesting. So if
Tom Rogic.
basically each episode, like I said, I'll pick out my 3 favourite clues, give you 3 guesses to pick the player. If you guess the player correctly, you win yourself the big 3 points. If nobody gets the player after the 3 big points have been given, ultimately everybody forfeits the points. The player with the lowest number of points come the end of the season will do a forfeit picked out by you guys, the listeners, on a poll over on Instagram. Head over to @WirelessPod to get involved. So, who wants the first big point?
That would be me.
I don't know why I feel Connor's going to get it this week.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't get, like, my mind is just like.
He had one good episode. He had one good episode where he got all 3 players. I think he got all 3 players. Yep. And under 3 guesses is I want to say as well.
Well,
there definitely needed to have been a VAR checking that, but we'll move on anyway.
Definitely.
Oh, see when he leaves his laptop or not? Can
That's just fair play, mate.
No, because you gave me one.
I did that with the answer.
You did.
Right, okay. So, your first big clue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm picking. There's some good ones here, actually. Right, okay. So, obviously, I've played in Scotland. That's what we're doing. We're picking Scottish football players. Or players who have played in the SPFL. I have played for Beershot VA.
Lance Shankland.
Oh my god.
But no, honestly, what's this guy on?
How did he get it that quick? That is ridiculous, isn't it? Fire. There's fire in it.
Too easy.
Mate,
Nobody else even get a chance to guess, mate.
I don't know what it was you said. I don't know what that was. Is that a club name you've just said? Because I didn't have
It's
a
Belgian,
clue
isn't it?
about-
Beershot.
League.
Of course it is.
22 games, scored 5 goals for them or something.
There you go.
How do you know that?
Mate, I keep this size. That's the one.
Honestly,
That is
Nah, he's not
ridiculous,
even
isn't it?
I'm not even looking at him the rest of the podcast. I'm pure disgusted, mate.
So I'll give you 2 other points anyway, and just we'll work out a few guys at home could have got it. So the first one, I played for Beershot VA.
Lawrence Shankland.
I did not expect anyone to get that. Second big clue, I have won the top goal scorer in the Scottish Championship twice.
Craig
Maybe
Gordon.
would have.
That's and the last one was I have 4 caps for Scotland.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
last
know
one I
who
would have got.
Nah, no.
Do you think you know who it is? Honestly, if looking at it, I would have got it after the second clue.
Yeah.
But I would never have got it after the first one. I didn't know he played for
I would have said the
Beershot.
Kichania or something.
I don't know if he played in the Scottish Championship, did he?
Probably.
Probably at some point. He's one of those players that's played for everybody.
Aye.
He's a Tony what?
That's an unreal stat that he's played for 6 of the 12 teams currently in the Premiership now.
Aye. I done, again, playing the big 3 points. I played earlier on, and Kenny Miller's played for 7 clubs in Scotland. There's a question, actually. Can you name the 7 clubs? Just before we get into the
Celtic, Rangers.
Celtic, Rangers.
Livingston, Dundee.
Yep.
Hibs.
Motherwell.
You're missing 2. One was the last club he played for. Oh, no, it wouldn't be the
Kelly.
last. Maybe it was. Not Kelly. Not Kelly.
Partick Thistle.
Partick Thistle, well done.
Partick Thistle, yeah.
One more. He was loaned out from Hibs in like the 2001 season, I think. It was very early in his career.
Dunfermline?
No.
Hamilton.
You should get it.
I should get it.
Aye, that's a clue.
Steny.
Well done.
How do you know about my life more than me, man?
He's on it,
Enjoy
man. He
applying
just
tips
knows
for
everything. How do you know someone had a
That
pie?
is what my mum has made me.
He had a pie, it wasn't him, but how do you know somebody had a pie for dinner?
I hate this big hot something, mate.
It's not just only that's big.
Straight into the
Size
football.
12, size 12 shoes.
Straight into the football. Rangers Ross County, 2-1. What did you make of the performance?
Poor Rangers performance.
Okay.
Not their best performance under Michael Beale, but positives to take for the game. They scrapped out a result when previously I don't think they would have.
So is that Borna Barisic back then, do we think?
No.
Did you see the goal?
It's a couple of goals now.
Aye, but did you
It's
see
a
the goal?
fluke.
Does the ball go in the net?
Listen, the ball is in the net. It's a goal.
Can't argue with that. It's a goal's a goal. But
Well, that's what you alluded to there. Is I think it's a really good point. Is that a game where previously, either this season or in previous seasons, where Rangers would have dropped points?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
You know, do you think
aye.
Rangers would have come
I
through
think they
that
would have still
with
came
Giovanni
through
Van Bronckhorst or Michael Beale?
Both. I think Rangers would have still won it. They create enough chances, even when you're at Celtic and Rangers at home. They're going to create chances, and if it wasn't for the free kick, they're still going to create chances. So I feel, like I said, watching the highlights, I'm not a Rangers fan, so I won't watch like the full game. But I don't know, like you're seeing people on Twitter rave about Cantwell, so obviously he must be
looked
doing
sharp,
well.
man.
So
It looked very sharp.
Morelos back into his best. Who
Yeah,
knows?
he's playing really well now. And Cantwell, I think, has been very impressive so far as well. I think, though, when you're talking about, generally speaking, coming to Celtic Park or Ibrox, you're going to create chances. I get that. That's fair enough. But look at some of the points that Rangers have dropped this season or last. Last season, was it 2-0 up at Motherwell at home? And dropped the points just before Christmas. 2-0 up at home and then drew 2 each. Games like that I just don't think that's going to happen under Michael Beale.
At all.
I think there's going to be drop
Because it's a
points
very
at
Rangers
some
thing
point.
today to drop points at teams where they shouldn't.
I don't think any team will go through the end of the season now and not drop points.
Yeah, I think that's
I
a
think
massive
every team
ask.
will drop points.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can't see Celtic drop many. Honestly, many. of my
Please
points.
touch wood, mate. Cheers.
Is that wood? Can we get a
We'll
fact
pull
check?
that clip up at the end of the season.
Aye, pull it up. I just don't see it happening. I think the squad now have got a good 26 that could play, and you probably wouldn't see any difference in the way that Celtic play.
So you don't think Celtic will drop points between
No,
now
I
and the
don't think
season?
there's a player that we could lose where we would go. Oh no,
I think
everything's got to
what
change.
about Kyogo just now?
No, I think you put Giacomakis in there, and I think you're the same team. I don't think he'll get many minutes, but I think
He's
I've
not
not seen it all. But
He's not even making the squad at the minute. Not even making the squad, and he can
still,
still
for me, he's still the best striker at Celtic's got.
he can still sign for clubs in America.
Yeah.
Clubs in America. That
That looks
market's
pretty much
open
done.
to. Yeah, it looks done. Postecoglou's comments earlier in the week would suggest that. as well.
4.3 I've seen.
I still think it's a little amount for someone who does what he does.
I think he's. If I'm speaking honestly, I think he's the best penalty box striker in the league, and I think he could go to the Prem and do pretty well. I think if you score the way that he scores goals, where he just kind of pops up anywhere and just puts the ball in the back of the net, he does his job. He
Do you
doesn't
think
really
Kyogo
do.
could do that in England? I'm just going to grill you here.
No, yet.
It's hard to say, innit? Because you'd think Edward would go down and bang goals in as well, but it's a different
I
ballgame
thought it was
down there.
perfect for him going down another Vieira, honestly. I thought that would have been perfect. But they've went and signed another 2 French strikers that are now playing ahead of him. It's what happens.
What's from a Rangers fan point of view then for yourself? How do you look at Rangers now, and where do Rangers strengthen next? They've obviously brought in a couple of midfielders. Midfield looks stacked now. It looks pretty strong. Defence isn't leaking as many goals as it was earlier in the season. Where do Rangers strengthen?
Goalkeeper's a massive one.
Goalkeeper.
If I could go out and sign a player right now for Rangers about any goalie, love Alan McGregor. Grew up watching Alan McGregor, but thanks to the memories, time to go now.
Mm-hmm.
John McLaughlin, I've got no faith in at all. I just don't see him as a very good goalkeeper in the slightest.
It's a weird one because everybody was talking about how McGregor stopped coming off his line. And they've brought McLaughlin in because he's known for coming out catching crosses now, and he's for the last couple of weeks he's failing. He's dropping balls, he's not catching them, he's mistiming them, and players are getting in front of him. I don't know if that's a confidence thing, or if that's just that now he's getting found out.
There's much better goalkeepers in the league than John McLaughlin, even if you look outside Rangers and Celtic.
I thought Xander Clark was going to be a Rangers man, to be honest.
If you had to go and sign,
goodness
if you had to go and sign out with Celtic, you had to go and sign a goalkeeper. Who are you signing?
In Scotland,
Did you say thank goodness that Xander Clark not?
no.
Do you see Robbie Nielsen backed in to become the new Scotland number one?
I
With
did
Craig
see
Gordon being it?
I think that's mental.
Do you think?
I
I think Xander Clark's
he's a
very
good
good.
keeper.
I think he's good.
He's all right, but he's not great.
It's a
Wait,
bit-
so who's
a
it?
bit crazy,
Gordon,
isn't
Marshall. Marshall's retired, isn't he?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know about David Marshall.
David Marshall.
I don't know.
it?
Who is it?
I don't see David Marshall and Gordon.
Liam Kelly?
I see he's going.
Liam Kelly, Robbie McCrory at Rangers as well.
I think Xander Clark's ahead of him by miles.
Xander Clark's ahead of McCrory, but McCrory doesn't get minutes. So yeah, looking at his options, they probably will go on and be Scotland's number one now, purely because Liam Kelly's having an awful season. David Marshall's just about over the hill now. Kind of leaves him with not much competition.
No, it does now.
Like your
it
top
doesn't.
goalies in Scotland.
We've been spoiled, haven't we, for the last
Yeah.
10 years? We kind of have been spoiled where you never really need to think about, all you really need to think about is the form that they're on. And that's really
You're
the
probably
only-
right with that. You're probably right with that. That's a fair assessment. Would you make a Raskin's debut?
Looked really good when he came on.
I think he looked sharp.
He did. Nippy.
His stats, I can't remember off the top of my head. Like he won 4 out of 4 ground duels or something like that. And
Did you get them off Stat Zone, or were you just there with your notepad counting
I
them
was just there
yourself?
watching, mate. I don't even need a notepad.
He's at the
Just
club deck
document
like
it.
this.
Sitting up the club deck, feet up, mate. Pie in one horn. Just taking notes in my head. Anyways. I looked really good, looked really sharp. Good 10 minutes. I'd like to see more of him, but the game didn't really lend itself to bringing a midfielder on that's not played any minutes for Rangers yet. So 10 minutes will do, but I hope to see him in for the start against this.
Do you think with John Lundstrom's injury he will kick on and
Well,
start games early, or do you
I'd
think he'll
assume
take some
so.
time to come in?
No, I'd assume he would start. Lundstrom's, I heard they were still talking about it. The moon. I seen him come out at Ibrox with a moon boot on, but apparently that was just a precaution because he was walking unaided with the moon boot.
You don't put a moon boot on as precaution. That's not the kind of thing that you do as a precaution.
But
What
their
kinda-
legs
It
are
is-
worth thousands, so
if he
they're going to
throws-
protect them.
If he throws Raskin in straight away, what kind of message do you think that sends to a player like Glenn Kamara, who's on his day one of the best midfielders in the league, but he just can't seem to?
Maybe he starts
Getting the team
Kamara
away.
and brings him on, Raskin on maybe 60 odd minutes.
I
'Cause
I don't see Kamara as being a real player.
Do you not?
No, I think the opposite.
Ah,
Kamara
you
plays
think so?
best football under. Yeah,
I
you
thought
seen
he's
it
been
last
having a
week
bit of
against
form, man.
Hearts. Like
No, he was class.
he was
class
unplayable
last week,
against
but
Hearts.
I don't know. I feel as if he's got to try and replace him.
I think the
Any
Rangers
means
midfield
necessary.
is so hard to pick just now because you've got Tillman, who's flying, Todd Cantwell, who's just signed for good money,
Lawrence has just came back in.
Lawrence is coming back,
So
you've
you've-
got
you've-
Raskin,
you've now got
Ryan
Tillman.
Jack's flying,
You've got Tillman
Hadji will
and
be back soon.
two new signings.
Hadji is
Hadji will
back now.
probably be wide. I think he'll probably play off the right when he comes back.
But maybe
to be fair,
yeah,
you'll find it hard
Sakala.
to shift Sakala. So I think Rangers have got a lot of good options just now.
They're like the Celtic back in the 17-18 or the 16-17.
Or just
Right,
hammers and midfielders.
Armstrong,
Aye,
McGregor,
so many
everybody.
good midfielders.
This is the most. See, in the last 10 years, even after Gerrard went and won the league, this is for me the closest it's been. I think that's a very good Rangers
I
team.
agree. I agree.
I think it's a very, very good Rangers
I think
team.
everything right now is setting up for next season to be one of the best seasons that we've seen in terms of competitiveness. I think you've got Celtic who look pretty strong, they're pretty comfortable in that system. Rangers look like they've turned a corner and they're etching out results, even if you say the performance at the weekend wasn't the best. But there's also been some brilliant performances. Hearts last week, unbelievable. So you're looking at Rangers, they've turned that corner. Hearts will probably come good again. Okay, obviously, you don't know what's going to happen with the other teams around about, but it's looking like it'll be a really good league next year.
Aye. I think Aberdeen looked good as well.
Yeah, let's just go straight on to Aberdeen then. Aberdeen Motherwell.
Thought they looked good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a Motherwell team that's probably going to get relegated.
Do you think Jake Motherwell will go down there?
Aye. They don't look interested in wanting to win games of football. Like they just look lacklustre. And then coming up against Aberdeen, who in recent times, this is the worst that they've been,
Mm-hmm.
and it just looked like men against boys, honestly.
But
Do
I
you
feel
think that sounds pretty harsh?
I see when a new manager comes in, it goes one or two ways. Look at Everton, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it gives a new spice of life into them.
It
Like,
does,
right, okay,
You run that extra yard, didn't you?
aye.
Do you think Mother will need that? Do you think Mother will need a refresh?
I think quite a few teams, and we'll get on to Kelly as well, but I feel like a few teams need to something new. Go out and explore, take that chance, and managers that aren't maybe as well known, and see what
If
they
you're
can
in-
implement the
I don't
style.
know.
I understand where you're coming from,
I
but
don't,
if
I
you're
don't. I don't think in a fight for relegation.
I
I look at relegation fights differently, right? Because I think if a manager's been there for that amount of time, right, and they'll try to get the best out of players, and they can't do it, bringing in a new manager for the last 2-3 months of the season to try and fight relegation, you're walking into a losing job. So what does a manager do then if he signs a contract for this to try and keep them up, and then he gets relegated?
But
Then he's new on. His mind then completely changes. Everything he was trying to teach them for staying up now has to change for trying to go up.
Aye, no, I get
And-
what you're saying, but why would I wouldn't sack a manager 2 months left of the season or 3 months or like so close to the end of the season? Keeping them right, cool, new season, start fresh.
Aye.
Like I would never sack a manager, even if he's getting bad
Yep, I agree.
performances. I would have stuck it with Jim Goodman, even though it's bad. You could see he
what
was
did you call him?
Jim Goodman.
Goodwin. I thought you said Goodman.
No,
Is that what?
No, but
No.
I would.
I would have stuck like you can't. There's no way. I had a couple of bad results, and see if it was like they got beat off Celtic, replace Celtic with Darvel. They get beat. They're expected to get beat off Celtic. They should have won the two games after that. Probably Aberdeen and Hibs, tough game. St Mirren, aye, but I just feel that managers sacking midway through a season.
Because Aberdeen weren't going to go down,
Yeah.
right?
We
So they're
spoke about that
not
last
going to go down. So then you say to him, right, listen, you've got to the end of the season. Prove to us that we should keep you in for the next year, and then see as soon as the season ends, make sure you've got a manager to come in that can make his own signings if that's the route you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like sacking a manager and saying to somebody like, "Oh, there you go, like save us for this horrible season we're having." Listen, you've had one bad year in 5.
Nah, I disagree. I think if you bring a new manager in and it looks like he's could go down, they've got 2 or 3 months to save the job. They're allowed a free hit at relegation. Okay, they get relegated, fine. They go down and they build up. They don't, and they manage to stay up. Brilliant bounce into the new season, fresh summer to work on all of your stuff, and that could take you right back up. It happens all the time. It's like, instead of just why stick it out if it's not going right? Why keep trying the same thing if it's not working?
Because I'm a firm believer in a manager needs 2 years.
I think we spoke last week about Mikel Arteta. In fact, we mentioned him a few times on here, where you've set this precedent now down in England where a manager a season and a half ago would maybe been looking at getting sacked, losing his job. Kick on 18 months, he's sitting, is that 5 clear at the top now with a game in hand?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you show somebody a bit of faith and then they'll come good for you. So I think I can understand the argument both ways. Sometimes you're thinking, right, something needs to change.
I guess it depends on how you're losing games. It depends on how the dressing room is. It depends on the money you've spent. There's obviously a lot of factors. Do you know what I mean?
But take nothing away from Aberdeen, 3-1, comfortable.
It's a good victory. Staying on the terms of teams that are fighting relegation, Dundee United started brilliant against Hearts. Stephen Fletcher,
Great goal,
great goal, very good goal, good goal.
Cultured.
very cultured. No
He's
Scottish culture, big culture.
He's always done that. Stephen Fletcher's done that wherever he's played. He's a great goal scorer. He's done it for Scotland as well on the biggest stage. So he's a very good player. But ultimately, the sending of Ryan Edwards. I know you don't feel it's a red card, do you?
I want to know.
I don't feel that's a red card.
Nah.
No.
If someone does that to you on a Sunday, what are you saying?
Ow, it ain't gone down. But no, like no, that's not a red card. You get battered and bruised. You know what it's like. He won the ball and
I don't think he even wins the ball, mate.
He does.
he does. He fully wins it and then leaves a bit on Halliday's ankle or
He wins the ball. No, mate, I'm telling you, right, he's watched me playing football. I love attack. Right, that's a red card.
Aye,